Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I know it's been over a month, and first of all, you might be thinking, hey, you're in this same room. I thought you said you were going to move. Well, actually, this is a completely different house than in the previous video. Yes, it looks exactly the same, and that was not the intention. The intention was to get brand new bookshelves, but you know, things happen. So we've got the same bookshelves, of course, with the same books, but in a different house, regardless of how it looks. And over on my Patreon, I recorded a video a week before we moved out of that house where I did a tour, and I never got around to editing it or uploading it, and I will soon. So within the next week, that will be over on my Patreon, the old house, and then there will be a video about the new house in case you're curious about those kinds of things, and then more about what's going on in my personal life. But this video is just like an overview of what's been going on with my writing, becoming an author sort of journey, and then just my general life as well, including a full-time job that I recently picked up. So let's jump in. Basically, the short summary is, yes, we did move, and it didn't go as smoothly. Moves never go as smoothly as you might hope, but we're in the house. It's been a month now, and we are mostly settled. We've got the books up, right? Most of them. If you could pan around, you'd see there are piles of books everywhere, and that's because actually we need another bookshelf, and indeed we need to put these extra things on top of these bookshelves to make them taller. But we haven't purchased those yet. And also we learned in the process of the move that these stairs here, this house is ancient. It was built in 1892, and so when they built this house, I don't know where the staircase was originally that goes up to the second floor, but it is certainly not where it currently is. That is for sure, because it is next to impossible. I'm not the tallest person in the universe, and I have difficulty. As you're getting up the staircase, it is coming to where I forget what the pitch of the roof, the angle of the roof is coinciding. So you've got to kind of like duck, and this will be all in a video on my Patreon. But in any case, the point is, it's impossible to get our old bed frames up there. It's just, it's not structurally possible. So the guest bed is not up there. The main bed is up there, but now that we're rethinking things, where we've positioned that in the room that I really fought for to be the main bedroom, I'm now rethinking maybe actually the room that we were thinking of as the guest room. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer. Maybe that will be the main bedroom. And then, fine, we'll leave the main bed where it is, and we'll buy, instead of buying a new guest bed, we'll just buy a brand new bed. But a bed that will specifically be able to be assembled in multiple pieces, because a regular bed frame with a big old footboard, no, the opposite of footboard, headboard, it just cannot fit in those stairs. No matter how you angle it, it's not possible, because again, as you're coming up the stairs, a human being has to kind of duck in order to get around it, because it's not ideal. But this house is old, and I love it because of its oldness. I love old houses, so I'm very excited about that. And it's helped inspire some writing stuff, so that's good too. Speaking of writing stuff, let's get into that. What has been going on with that? Well, not much, as far as I don't have a book deal yet. But basically, last we left off, I had sent out the first manuscript on its, well, I hadn't done any of this, my agent did this. Sent out the first book on its round one. And that's nine editors out there who have said, well, 6 of those 9 have said, here are things I like about it, but no. And so now we're dead to them. You can't resend it to them. Oh, my nipple is trying to make an appearance. You can't make changes and send it back to them. That's a no-no. So okay, that's fine. We still haven't heard back from 3, but simultaneous to that, I've told you that my agent and I have been working on another of my manuscripts, because when she heard about this one, she was like, well, wait a minute. I think the sentiment I got from her is, well, I'd rather you would have sent that to me first than this other thing. So we worked on that, and now we have sent that out. So that is freshly out. Just recently, we sent that one out. It's out there to its 9 agents, who are some of the agents who said no. Again, the nipple's trying to escape. Uh, to the sum of the same editors, I mean to say, who said no to the first one, but also some others who have never heard of me at all, period. So that's exciting, especially considering one of those editors my agent was on the phone with for quite some time before she sent it out. And that editor was very like, yes, please send this to me. This sounds awesome. And my agent was going on and on and on about it. So I'm very excited about that one, especially considering that's at one of my favorite publishing houses. So we'll see. But then also we're now getting ready to send the first manuscript out on its second round to a completely separate batch of 9 editors. And some of my favorite publishing houses are in that batch for that first one. So I'm also excited about that. But the tricky part about all of this is, how to phrase this? My... I think I'll just skip over this part. Let's just say that it's there's some tricky parts about all of this, and I'm a little anxious, but I'm also very excited. But I just, the funny part, I'm trying to skirt around something, but I'm not doing a very good job. What I'm trying to kind of get at is I'm very excited because, frankly, at this point, I almost would rather the second manuscript get like instantly bought instead of, I love that first manuscript that's out there with all of my heart. I do, but I think, and my agent says this, the second manuscript is much more commercial and it has a whole lot more going on, and it's a lot more marketable. And I don't want to make this sound all about money, but is more likely to sell more copies, which only means really that a publisher is much more likely to pick it up, and also that it's much more likely to be optioned, which means like Netflix or some movie studio is more likely to want to buy it to turn it into a movie. So as a new author, that just for me means, yeah, fine, more money, fine, but whatever. But also more eyes on my story, and that's an exciting thing. The first one is a great story, but it's much more targeted to a very specific and more limited demographic, specifically gay or LGBTQ or allies of LGBTQ, people who are interested in a romance, because it's mostly like a gay teen guy romance, right? And that's fine, but the market for that's, is pretty limited. Whereas the other thing is not. It's like two friends. It's a friendship thing. And sure, one of those guys happens to be gay. There are 2 main characters. It alternates between 2 perspectives. A gay kid and his former best friend, a straight kid. And so it's less specifically, gay. Which, again, that's fine. Gay is fine. But it's really like kind of limiting the marketability or the audience. So I'm excited that this other one is out and that she's convinced this one has wider appeal, so it's more likely to be picked up by a publishing house, and it's more likely to garner a larger audience and that kind of thing. So, but it's very tricky because, all the rest of my stuff is straight up, all the rest of my young adult is basically gay romance, for all intents and purposes, except for the sci-fi thing that I started writing and this other thing. Okay, fine, not all of it. But the point is, I'm gay, I like romance, that's what I write, It either is exclusively that or it's that and other things. So anyways, I'm just a little concerned, like, if I do develop an audience for this other thing, then they'll be like kind of disappointed with any recent forthcoming books, because those will be more specifically gay romance. So not gay romance, but young adults. Anyways, I'm babbling. The point is that's all going on. And then simultaneous to all of that, so doing a whole bunch of revisions on that, and then a whole bunch of revisions on the first manuscript to get it ready for its second round. And then on top of all that, this move, which has been arduous, and the selling of the old house, which has been arduous. And then on top of all of that, starting a brand new personal training job back to personal training, which I love with all of my heart, but I'm not used to working full-time hours. Frankly, I'm not used to working period for like the past year. So except, a little bit, like I had like 4 online clients basically and 1 sort of kind of in-person client off and on. Not really used to working basically full-time. So not that there's anything traumatic or wrong about it. I'm just not, my body's frankly not used to it, and I'm not used to not having all of the time I need to work on writing, so that's tricky. And to have a social life, which I frankly don't and haven't for the past month. And anyway, and then one of my favorite games of all time from childhood has been recently resurrected in a brand new version, a board game thing. It's like somewhere between a board game and a Dungeons and Dragons called Hero Quest has been resurrected, and that just arrived in the mail, and so I'm very excited to get a group together to start playing that, but I literally have no time because I have this full-time job and I have basically another full-time job, which is writing or revising or whatever, and then I'm working on this 3rd manuscript, tidying it up and getting it ready, and I just got really great feedback from another of my author siblings at my agency who had some really interesting things to say about it, which I thought was, oh geez, I better fix all of that and before anybody else sees it. So this video is going on forever. So anyways, that's what's been going on in my life. I hope that entertained you. See you guys in the next video. Bye guys.